Hey everyone, this is Sudeep Mansali. In the last video, we completed the designing. Now we will add the backend Node.js where we can create the APIs and can request the data and save the data. For that, simply open a brand new folder inside that SRC, new folder, name it backend with nothing inside of it, backend, and, uh, and add a script here app.js. And now here we can write some code which does not depend on the browser APIs, which will be executed by the Node.js. Just add console.log here, console. Now the question arises, how can we execute this JavaScript code without loading it into the browser or the HTML file? One solution is using that Node.js. Node.js is the runtime outside runtime environment that runs the JavaScript. So we have to install the Node.js. If you have, make sure you have to do it. If you are not done it, install the latest version of the Node.js. Once you did that, you can run this script with using the Node.js. After installing Node.js, just refresh the terminal and type node and the file name. Before typing that node, go to the source folder by commanding cd and cd backend where that file exists. Here you type node app.js and hit enter. It will execute. It should just save the file app.js. Here you got the hello world in the console. Node.js is a server-side language. Here we write the server which we can through which we can handle the incoming requests and sending back the responses. You can also use the Express.js which will help in building that server, which is the framework for Node.js. We install that Express.js framework using npm. In order to do that, we have to convert this project into npm project. For that, type npm init and hit enter and just confirm all the defaults here. Press enter. Yes, this creates the package.json file. Now you can install new dependencies into your project. Install Express.js. npm install Express. Save, which will installed as a production dependency, and you will see the entry in the package.json file also. Installing here, you can see the a new entry Express of the version 4.17.1. Open this app.js file. You start by importing the export using the Node.js import syntax. Const express require express. This will store all the contents of the Express package like objects, functions into the Express. Now you got the Express function here. You just simply create the app const app by calling the Express as a function object with a lot of features and functions given by the Express, and it acts on certain incoming requests also. And Express is the middleware driven framework. It means Express will funnel the incoming requests through a different functions. It is simply a function that gets the request object and do something with that. Here you just import the require fs package through which we can work with file systems. CORS stands for cross origin resource sharing. The idea behind the CORS is very simple. You have the React application that is running on the port number 3300 and your Node.js is running on the port number 9000. Now we got the two applications that are running on the two different servers. Now we have to make the request for the data from Node.js, and the request will be from the React.js application, that is our Google form clone. Uh, the browser will block the such requests from the React.js to the Node.js, because the requests for the routes that are in the same domains are allowed. So we add the cross-origin resource sharing here, and the body parser to parse the incoming request body, which will parse the incoming request body, and again it will save into the body field, and here we pick up the one JSON method here. This use will register the middleware, and here you call the cors, and this function and the response header should be added here. Allow access control or allow origin. This app.listen will run the server on the port number 9000, and this function will be called when the server started. Now we make the first API, that is the post API, where we can save the data into the file. Inside that backend folder, you just open the one more file, new, and name it files, where all the data will be saved here. Oh, it should that should be the folder. This folder holds all the question papers files. Here in the post, it is the path, that is add questions, and the document ID is the document ID number, and that takes the function and parameters as a request object and the response object, and the docs data will hold the request body, and the name will be the document ID, and that data will be the JSON stringified, and that will using that fs dot write file sync is the function that is available in the file system package. First one is the path where the file has to be saved, and the format within the files folder with the document ID dot JSON extension, and the second is the data what should be saved within that file. Next one is the get API with the path data, and that takes the document ID, and this can be used to get the information about all the questions. You could make the request to get all the questions here. That takes the request and response object, and the document ID, that read fs dot has the fs package has the read file function, that takes the path where that file exists, files, and the document ID and .json. If that file exists, that the data will be read here. If that there is an error, it will throw that error, or the question data will be read using that JSON.parsed data, and the response will be sent using the function response.send queues data. To open question form.js file, below this drag and drop the context, add this save form with the button variant content and the color primary. Click on the 2db, and the style is a 14px, and the save. Go to the top and define that commit to db function here. To make the API calls, you install one more package, npm install Axios. This Axios package will help in handling the get, post, put API calls. Just from Axios package, and also declare two more constants here. One is document name and the document ID. This is the document name and document description. This use state will helps in giving that document name with the initial value untitled document, and this set doc name is a function that will update and modify the document name. To add the events to these inputs, where it will set the document name whenever the event happens, that is the on change event occurs here, and create one more event here for document description. Just change this name DESSC and save this. Define the function committed to DB, inside which you make the post request adjust.post HTTP localhost, which is running on the 9000 port, and the path action questions, and you pass the ID, document ID, and also the document name, document descriptions, and the questions with the questions, all the saved that you have entered in the form. Typing node and the node app.js. Here you got the cannot find module course. You just install it. npm install course and just open the browser. You click on blank. This is the ID that is generated and will be that is the ID, and here got the save button, and if you just click on the save button, the open that file. Here inside this backend, here you can see with the document Belgavi, Hubli, Mandya, and the answer key with empty string and the point 0, and the open is set to true and required is false. Here you observe the ID and the question ID that is generated is same. This will save the all the questions that you have saved here. Just add one more question. Click on add icon and just type add this one more question. Indian national animal dash is lion, tiger, elephant, and kangaroo. And here is set multiple choice. And just click on save and open the file. You just open here. Here you can see Indian national animal. Wait here, I will slow down. Indian national animal. Question type is radio, and the options lion, tiger, elephant, and kangaroo. This completes the first API, post API, where you can save the data. We will continue with the making the request with the get in the next video.